Hello students! In our previous video, we learnt about respiration in humans. Let us start with a question. Do plants breathe? Before answering, let us see one very interesting fact about plants. On hot summer days, we enjoy sitting under the shade of trees, isn't it? And why so? It's because we feel cool. But do you know that it is not advisable to rest under a tree during night time? And do you know why is that so? Pause the video, take a second and think about it. Did you? No, this is not related to some fictitious horror story. It is about a scientific fact. The reason behind this advice is that plants give out only carbon dioxide during night. Let us see why this happens. During daytime, plants perform two processes together, that is photosynthesis and respiration. But the rate of photosynthesis is very high as compared to rate of respiration during day. Thus, the carbon dioxide produced during respiration is used up in photosynthesis, and oxygen produced during photosynthesis is given out. And so during daytime we can rest under the tree. While during night, plants can perform only respiration since there is no sunlight for photosynthesis. And we know that during respiration, oxygen from the air is taken in and carbon dioxide is given out. And thus, it is not advisable to sleep or rest under a tree at night. Students, so now you know that plants do breathe. That is, they carry out respiration both during day and night time. We can also say that photosynthesis and respiration occur simultaneously in plants during day. But the rate of photosynthesis is much higher than the rate of respiration. While at night time, plants only respire or breathe and do not carry out photosynthesis. So all green plants breathe through the process of cellular respiration. But unlike animals, the process is simple and involves exchange of gases through stomata. Opposite to animals where breathing is complex and involves many organs. So let's explore how respiration happens in plants. Let us see two experimental setups to find out if plants breathe out carbon dioxide and breathe in oxygen just like animals. In the first experiment, we have covered a plant with a jar and kept it in the dark to ensure that the plant cannot perform photosynthesis. And at the same time, exchange of gases can happen with the air present inside the jar. A tube is connected from the jar containing the plant to another jar. This jar contains clear lime water. Now keep this set up for some time. And what do we observe after some time? Yes, correct. The lime water now turns milky. This shows that plant is releasing carbon dioxide. And how do we conclude this? Students, you will recall from your previous learnings that lime water test is the most commonly used test to identify the presence of carbon dioxide. Now let us demonstrate this second experiment. This second experiment also uses a plant kept in the dark covered by a jar. But the covered plant in this case is kept in a glass jar full of water. Also, potassium hydroxide crystals are placed in a dish near the plant inside the jar. This helps to absorb any carbon dioxide present or released by the plant inside the jar. Now, what do you observe after some time in this case? As you can see, the water level rises inside the jar. Students, can you tell why this water level rise happened inside the jar? This happens because some gas which was present inside the jar is being used up by plant. carbon dioxide, which is present in the jar, gets absorbed by the KOH placed inside it, while oxygen present in the jar gets absorbed by the plants for respiration. So when gases get absorbed, an empty space is created, which gets filled up by water from the drum, and hence we see or observe a rise in water level inside the jar. Now both these activities shows that plants also breathe and they take oxygen inside and give out carbon dioxide. Now the question arises, why do plants need oxygen? The answer is very simple, students. Like animals, plants also need energy to perform various physiological activities like growth, development, flowering, fruiting, etc. And to produce this required energy, they need oxygen. Just like animals using oxygen, plants also break glucose molecules produced during photosynthesis and release energy in this process. And which process is this? Correct. It is the process of cellular respiration. Now the question is, do plants have a respiratory system like other organisms, especially as complex as humans? No. The plants don't breathe like other organisms through complex systems. And do you know why? Since plants don't move or do not carry out vigorous activities just like animals, their energy requirement is lesser than that of the animals. So they don't require a very complex respiratory system. Simple structures are enough to provide the required oxygen to each cell. For plants, we can say that every exposed part of it can exchange gases directly with its surroundings. So students, what we have learned is that plants also breathe like other organisms. They take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide during respiration. But the only difference is that animals have more complex system of respiration, while in plants it is simple. Every exposed part of it can exchange gases directly with air. Leaves have special structures called stomata to exchange gases. Stems do it through their outer surfaces or lenticels, and roots take up air from the air spaces present between the soil particles via root hairs. And we will see them all in detail in our next video.